I just returned from one of the coolest places I have ever visited, where I rode one of the coolest vehicles I have ever tested. Oh, and I did a lot more than that.
I cannot believe I'm in Taiwan right now testing out an insanely powerful electric scooter.
Hey everyone, Micah here with EbikeSchool.com, and today I am off to Taiwan to test out the coolest electric scooter in the world, at least in my opinion. Now, this electric scooter was unveiled a few months ago. I did cover it in Electrek, but I figured, I'd never get a chance to try this thing out in real life, so I'm super excited for this opportunity. Plus, I've never been to Taiwan, so that's gonna be pretty cool too. I don't normally do like travel style vlogs, that sort of thing, but this is gonna be an experiment. Now, I'm off to the airport. There are two different ways I can get there. One is I can take a taxi. The other is I can rent a scooter to ride to the train station to take a train to the airport. So I think you can probably guess which one I'm gonna do. All right, I got 9 minutes to my train. I think I'm gonna make it. Station is right there. All right, I made it to my gate as usual a bit early. I got about an hour to kill here, so I'm probably gonna write an Electrek article, bang one of those out. I've made it to Dubai. I've got about a 7-hour layover here, which is close to 7 hours longer than I'd like to be in this city. Let's see if I can find somewhere comfortable to hole up for this time. This one. That's me.
Are you ready to go now?
Yes. Okay. And I made it. I am finally here in Taipei. If you're wondering how I travel so light like this is actually not traveling light. This is almost all my gear and equipment. These are my clothes for the trip. This is all camera equipment, and back here is all electronics. So hard to do one-handed. This is my gear bag, so it's a second backpack in a backpack. And this is where I have all of my important stuff I need or might need while out riding. Also my drone, but for now I need to get myself cleaned up. All right, it's morning here in Taipei. Today is the whole reason that I'm here. I'm going to Gogoro's test event for their new Pulse electric scooter. There's gonna be like 40 Taiwanese journalists and then me. I'm the only Western journalist invited, so should be pretty interesting. I hope I can understand anything. And finally, I was there. Hopping off the bus, I found myself at what must have been an abandoned airstrip that Gogoro was using for this major press event. There we got a rundown of the Pulse electric scooter we were about to test out, and then got a few demonstrations from professional riders showing us what we needed to know, and then we got our own turns to have some fun. The thing about the Pulse electric scooter is that, first of all, it uses the same Gogoro batteries that all other scooters made by Gogoro use, and I'll have more on that later in this video, but also that this scooter is the most advanced and highest performance model yet from the company. This is actually the first moment I put the scooter in track mode and blipped the throttle just to give it a feel. You can see how unprepared I was for that amount of launch from an electric scooter. And track mode isn't even the highest power mode, believe it or not. That's launch mode, which I got to test here. Now launch mode requires a few secret inputs to initiate it, and then once it's in launch mode and ready, it starts shaking like a high revving engine, and then as soon as you release the rear brake lever as if you're popping a clutch, you just launch off the line. It is wild.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry for the uncontrollable laughing there. I just couldn't believe how crazy that felt, flying that fast from a standstill on a scooter. From there, I moved on to testing out the traction control. If you guys know me, then you'll know I'm mostly a commuter rider. I don't spend that much time in the dirt. But here I got to put the traction control to the test in dirt mode, where I tried as best I could to get that thing slipping and sliding, but I just couldn't get it sideways. It was always prepared to correct my bad riding with its traction control. And lastly, there was this slalom testing, which I didn't push particularly hard, but Gogoro's pro rider showed us how it's really done. Also pay attention to how quiet the scooter is as he takes off.
Dude. Oh, I heard him scream. That's awesome.
Basically, I spent all afternoon having a blast on the Gogoro Pulse, making use of its 9 kilowatts of power and its super nimble ride feel. But the real beauty is what you can't see. It's all the tech inside. That 13-segment dynamically adjusting headlight, the Qualcomm Snapdragon processor that powers the 10-inch touchscreen, and the combination of liquid and directed air cooling to get even more performance out of that drivetrain. Basically, the Gogoro Pulse feels like a whole new era for the company, marking a seriously aggressive design styling matched by a seriously high-performance drivetrain. After riding all afternoon, it was back on the train to return to Taipei and then off to grab dinner, where for the first time in my life, I was led to my table by a robotic hostess.
Alright, it is morning. I am super jet lagged, but today should be really exciting because I'm heading to Gogoro's headquarters. I should be able to see where they build their scooters and batteries. Normally they don't let anyone film in the factories. They said they might let me shoot a little bit, so hopefully that works out and I'll be able to show you guys some pretty cool stuff.
By this point in the video, if you haven't already heard much about Gogoro before, then you probably think they're a high-tech scooter company, which technically is true, but really they're more of a high-tech battery company that just happens to also make awesome scooters. It's their batteries that are the real secret sauce here though, with the company hosting thousands of battery swap stations in something like 8 or 10 countries and counting. Gogoro was kind enough to give me unprecedented access to their headquarters and their factory where they produce their scooters and their batteries. In fact, they let me film in areas where no one has been permitted to film before, though there were still a few places that I couldn't share the video, like behind these doors where the secret new projects and designs take place. They let me in to peek around though, and I was amazed to see that they were actually doing full-scale clay modeling of new scooters to get the perfect designs and dial in the ergonomics, something normally seen only in automotive manufacturing, not in scooters. Then moving on to the factory, I saw a combination of robotic and manual assembly processes. Though even in the manual lines, they didn't look like most assembly lines I've seen in other factories where you've got sort of old-fashioned conveyor systems that the workers conform to. Instead, the scooters move on adjustable height chassis that conform to the workers for a more comfortable and safer work height. And the coolest thing is even those chassis, which are custom built by Gogoro, run on their own Gogoro batteries. How cool is that? Quality control testing takes place at the end of each line, though there were also several proprietary quality control methods that they used during production that I wasn't permitted to show off, but it was amazing to see just how much attention to detail goes into monitoring all of those assembly steps using high-tech analysis to ensure everything is built properly before it rolls off the line. Next, I got to go inside the battery factory, which is the most top secret area, but Gogoro was nice enough to let me share a lot of what goes on behind the curtain here in order to make the most advanced swappable battery packs in the world. The entire process is done 100% hands-free, meaning it's all automated machinery. No human hands touch these cells or the batteries while they're being produced. Humans can get tired, humans can make mistakes, but robots perform the same task the exact same way every time. And when the battery isn't just an energy storage unit, but also performs all of the communication and other smart features required by Gogoro's systems, that level of accuracy and precision is critical. There were several trade secrets that come into play though in this assembly and design process, so there are a few areas I still can't show you, especially the insides of the batteries here before they're fully assembled, but trust me, there is some amazing technology that goes into making this system so incredibly simple to use. And that's kind of the underlying hallmark of Gogoro, I've discovered. They've designed in so much complicated technology in order to make the user side of things so simple. The ease of use really does betray how much thought and design over many years went into creating this system that now performs hundreds of thousands of battery swaps every day.
Let's see, 2 days ago I was at the Gogoro Pulse test ride event. Yesterday I toured the factory with Gogoro's CEO. Today I've got a couple Gogoro scooters letting me borrow, and I'm gonna ride around with Jason, VP at Gogoro. So we're gonna go explore Taipei, test ride some scooters, and hopefully see some cool things.
Jason managed to snag a couple cool scooters for us, this new Gogoro crossover scooter and also a Viva Max Muji edition, so we could try both of them. We started out by checking out something I've wanted to see for years now, a Gogoro Superstation, which is basically just a whole bunch of Gogoro stations paired together, usually placed in the busiest parts of town to ensure hundreds of swaps can happen in a short period of time.
So we often see the Gogoro scooters as like the sexy face of the company, but really the secret sauce is all about the batteries. This is a Gogoro swap station. It's actually what's known as a super station. It's 6 stations all together. And I'll show you how this battery swapping works. First of all, because the batteries communicate wirelessly with the swap station, it's already recognized my scooter when I roll up. There's no membership card I have to swipe. I just take the battery out and it already knows I'm here. So I put it in. This scooter has 2 batteries, some only have 1. I put the second battery in the station. And now, because it knows who I am, it's figuring out which batteries to give me based on my riding style. It's diagnosing my scooter if it needs any work. It's already spit out my new batteries here. You can see how fast this is. And now I just put 2 freshly charged batteries back in the scooter, and I'm ready to rock and roll. It's as simple as that. The batteries are also pretty lightweight. I mean, 9 kilos, 20 pounds. It doesn't weigh that much, and it's pretty easy to get in and out of the station. You can do it one-handed if you're, even decently fit. From there, we were off to visit the famous, or perhaps infamous, scooter waterfall in Taipei. We were there a bit after rush hour ended, but it was still pretty impressive to see just how many scooters come flowing down this ramp.
I hope you guys can hear me. It is so loud here with all the scooters. But behind me is what's known as the scooter waterfall here in Taipei. This is an off-ramp from a scooter-only highway coming across the river in from New Taipei City. These are all commuters, and there's something like 10% of these scooters are electric, but the vast majority are gas-powered. You can hear all of those engines. You can taste the exhaust in the air. We've been here for about 10 minutes or so taking pictures. I'm starting to get a headache just from all of this exhaust. It really shows you how important it is, why we do what we do, why it is so critical to move all of these scooters towards electrification, to reduce these emissions just on the small scale from day to day, the health impacts, and the long term for our planet.
From there, we were off to this historic part of town that still had the look and feel of old Taipei. It was really cool to see the way the city used to look, and we also found a hidden little tea shop, kind of a hole-in-the-wall place, to stop in and have a nice little drink. The next stop of the day was climbing up a mountain road to test the Gogoros on the ascent.
Literally smells like flowers. It's like honey experience these senses and experiences. I'm describing it. It's something you just have to feel the wind in your face. This is freaking out.
The scooters did great on that ascent, but by the time we made it to the top and stopped for some photos at a few viewpoints, it was already rush hour. Fortunately, we were on the right vehicles for the job as we descended the mountain road back into Taipei. Last day here in Taipei. Oh man, I've done so much stuff in the last few days. I'm finally just getting over my jet lag, barely. Just in time to head home, which is perfect. But I have seen so much here. This has just been such an incredible, amazing experience. Test the Gogoro scooters, see the system in its native environment, and also just to take in Taiwan, see what this amazing island has to offer. Just incredible culture. The people have just been so nice, so thoughtful, so welcoming. It's been amazing. I can't describe how awesome this trip has been. Now though, it is time for the part of every one of my videos where I give away a free e-bike. This is eBikes for Good, a program I started to match electric bikes with people who need them, need a way to get around. If that sounds like you, then listen up. Today I'm giving away a Fukari Scorpio electric bike. This is an awesome moped-style, full suspension e-bike, got suspension up front in that fork, and dual rear shocks. Still has those smaller, like 20-inch diameter, 4-inch fat tire wheels, so you get the fat tires, but in that small, sort of more nimble format. Powerful motor, 750 watt continuous, but something like 1400 watts peak. So very powerful motor, gets the bike up to 32 miles an hour if you unlock it. The battery is also huge, 48 volt, 20 amp hour, so almost a kilowatt hour of capacity there. Nice big battery. Right now the bike's on sale for I think $1,099, so super affordable too. It's normally like MSRP, I think 1,600. So, really affordable, especially for that level of performance. Now, how's this going to work? If you are someone who needs an e-bike to get around, to improve your station in life, to give you a better way to get to the store, to get to work, to visit your kids, to get to the doctor, whatever you need. If an e-bike will help, but it is just outside of your financial ability, it's just something that you can't fit into the budget right now, let me know. Head on over to EbikeSchool.com/ebikes4good. Got an entry form there, fill it out, and we'll go through those entries. Among the deserving entries, there will be one randomly selected winner who will win that Fukari Scorpio electric bike. So make sure you fill that out. Now it is time to announce who the randomly selected entrant was for my last video to win a free e-bike. And the winner is Matthew B. So congratulations, I cannot wait to get that bike out to you. Everyone else watching, if you want to win a Fukari Scorpio electric bike, make sure you head on over to EbikeSchool.com/ebikes4good, fill out that entry form, and you could be the winner of a free e-bike. Last but not least, it's time to announce the winner of the book giveaway from my last video. And the randomly selected commenter is CB McGee. So congratulations, just let me know which one of my books you'd like. You can choose from DIY Lithium Batteries, DIY Solar Power, the Ultimate Do-It-Yourself E-Bike Guide, or my latest book, The Electric Bike Manifesto. And anybody else watching, if you want to win a copy of one of my books for free, all you gotta do is put a comment down below this video. You can say anything you'd like, and hopefully you'll be the randomly selected commenter at the end of my next video. If you don't want to wait that long to hopefully win a copy of one of my books, you can always find them on Amazon. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you next time.